GTA San Andreas made an impressive $235 million in revenue during its first week of release. But nearly a decade later, GTA 5 took things to a whole new level. This is all thanks to one man's performance. Shawn Fonteno, or better known as Franklin Clinton, gang leader, entrepreneur, and professional bank robber from Los Santos. Released on September 17, 2013, GTA 5 earned over $8 billion in total revenue and shattered industry records. It even secured 7 Guinness World Records, including the highest revenue generated by any entertainment product in just 24 hours. But while most GTA protagonists end up falling out with Rockstar, he chose to capitalize on the opportunity and use Rockstar to make himself rich. But his story isn't all fun and games. He was involved in shootouts, gangbanging, and drug trafficking with the Colombian cartels. This is the story of Solo and how he outsmarted Rockstar Games. On the 8th of April, 1976, Shawn was brought into this world, born to a young 17-year-old woman living in the ghettos of southern Los Angeles, in the city of Watts. Solo described his relationship with his mother in a Say Cheese TV interview, saying they had a brother and sister dynamic with his grandparents raising him from birth to the age of 5. As for his father, he didn't know much about him, other than he was incarcerated and a high-ranking member of the BGF. Not having a father figure in the home and being raised by a poor single mother put him at a disadvantage. But unfortunately, this was a common theme in the city, which led to the younger kids looking up to their neighborhood heroes.
Y'all think Crip got to do with money?
That's protecting your homeboys.
That's all we got. You feel what I'm saying? When you in the hood, the gangs are pretty much, you know, they call them gang, but it's family members, it's homies. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is with us.
Now, Solo did have a stepdad who he moved in with at the age of 5. However, he was very abusive to Solo.
You know, now the older I get, I see why he was kind of physical with me, because I found out a lot of things that you know, when you get older, you can rewind back with things, because I was always wondering through my life why he always whooped on my.
With Solo stating, "It seemed like everything I did, right or wrong, ended with me getting beat." Solo once made a peanut butter sandwich without permission, unknowingly breaking his stepfather's strict rules. But instead of receiving a warning, he instead was physically punished. His mom would try to stop the beatings by pretending to get on Solo's side, walking him up to his room and acting as if she was the one spanking him, with the beatings being a weekly, if not daily thing. It bred Solo into an angry young man, often filled with the thoughts of, "I hate you and I wish you died." Solo would arrive home to the Nickerson Garden projects after a long day of playing basketball with the local kids, only to find his stepfather shooting up heroin. His stepfather's eyes widened, his skin turned gray, and his body hit the floor as the 9-year-old Solo stared at his lifeless body, completely numb to the fact that the only father he had known since he was 5 was dead. But in the years to come, more trauma would follow. Between playing father to his siblings and his mother having men in and out of their home, it drove Solo to running away. This is what shaped him into the hardcore Crip that he became, heading just 3 blocks down, hoping to stay with his grandparents. His grandfather was originally from the state of Mississippi, and as for his grandmother, she was a hard-working woman from the state of Texas. They had 4 kids, with Solo's mom being the youngest. When she left, the 3 boys stayed home. So not only did the grandparents had to take care of the 3 uncles, but Solo as well. When his uncles came home, they would often get drunk and high before jumping into street fights with each other, leaving the young Solo amazed at their warrior-like behavior. All Solo would have to do was mention that he was the nephew of Big Tony, and just like that, everyone backed off. Big Tony didn't claim any hood or gang, but ran with the original Crip leaders such as Tookie Williams, Raymond, and others. Everyone knew Tony was about that life. He gained respect from the Bloods, Crips, and older gangs like the Slossons and the Businessmen. Since Big Tony was popular amongst every gang and big-time drug dealer, Solo saw his fair share of gangbanging and dope. But at this point, Solo didn't jump directly in the streets. He would instead start a job cleaning the parking lot of a local church's chicken, receiving just $10 and a bucket of chicken. But one night during his shift, he witnessed a high-speed chase with several cop cars chasing a man. Unfortunately, the man lost control of his car and crashed. As yellow tape was being put up, Solo tried to look over the tape to see who it was, but managed to see nothing.
Because, you know, back then when shit happened, you try to get closest to the scene as you can, because it was actually like walking distance from where I was in the parking lot. Walked down there and I saw this dude laying out with blood coming out his head, out his nose, his mouth, and you know, I'm a kid.
A few days later, as he approached his house, he was astonished to see a crowd of people gathered on his porch. Among the crowd was his mom, who he hadn't seen in a while, and she was crying uncontrollably. Confused, Solo got into the car with her and headed to a local hospital. He then learned that this man was his biological father, and just like the death of his stepdad, Solo showed zero emotion. The craziest part of all this was that he had never once heard anyone officially say his father's name. But then his birthday rolled around. A man named Leroy rolled up to his neighborhood, saying he was a friend of Big John and that he had an envelope for his son. Solo replied, "That's me," and was gifted an envelope holding $500 inside. Now Solo didn't have to do anything for the BGF. However, Leroy would visit Solo every holiday. During one visit, Leroy asked Solo to take a walk with him. He then pulled out a black and handed it to Solo. Solo fell in love with the feeling of pulling the trigger. Not only this, but he became addicted to sex, drugs, and gangster rap, quickly spiraling into a young East Coast savage. But this life of course came with challenges. The police would even target Solo, but not because he was a threat at this point, but because they knew he had a relationship with the local drug dealers, ending with 3 undercover cops kidnapping him and using scare tactics to get him to snitch on the local dealers. The 3 cops drove him to a construction site where they would point a gun at his head, yelling out disrespectful terms from racial slurs to gang insults.
The cop kept asking me the same question, and his voice got louder every time he asked, as if my answer was gonna change. Spit was flying out of his mouth as he threatened, "I'll blow your black ass head off."
Such as the word crab. Crab is often used as a derogatory term to refer to members of Crip gangs. It's a disrespectful way of addressing their enemies. But that didn't matter to the cops. They left him stranded in the middle of the Nickerson Gardens projects, home of the bounty hunter Bloods. They started in the early 1970s and are known for criminal activities like drugs and violence, to the point that members not too long ago uploaded a video of them riding around with a dead body and being shot.
They hit him. They hit him. Papa, they hit him. They hit him. Look, they hit him, Papa.
And the worst part is that they informed the Bloods that he was a Crip member despite never becoming a member. Just 1 year later, Solo hung out with an East Coast Crip set, but he still wasn't a member at the time. But the Bloods and other rival Crip gangs didn't care, jumping out on him and his friends while they played marbles, pulling out a hand and letting off shots at the crowd. Solo would denounce his affiliation with any gang, but that wouldn't stop the shooters. A nearby Crip member ran outside and started firing his. This caused the Bloods to make a run for it. Solo once again managed to escape death. This pushed Solo down a dark path. He began hanging out at a local gang spot in his neighborhood known as the Double Dutch House. Many older Crip members, along with younger recruits, gathered there. Solo had befriended one of these younger guys earlier, not knowing he was involved in gangs. One day, he greeted them as usual, but suddenly an older Crip leader demanded that the baby Crips jump Solo in. They would jump him in and then lift him up, introducing him to his new family, the infamous 97 East Coast Crips. Now this is just speculation, because he wasn't always part of his current East Coast group, but it would explain his claims to the neighborhood Crips.
I was from a neighborhood around here called Neighborhood Crips.
When you're young, you're likely to spend the night at your friend's house, which Solo of course did. But what his grandmother didn't know is that the friend was the leader of the neighborhood Crips, actively engaging in street wars with rival gangs. The two would go on missions sliding on their ops just at the age of 14. This gangster lifestyle was taking a toll on Solo's education, but instead of dropping out, he took advantage of the addiction that affected many civilians, including some of his teachers. With a few rocks, Solo could easily turn an F into a D. The crack epidemic peaked in 1987 and showed no signs of slowing down until 1993. Some of the money for the Contras reportedly came from the profits of drug trafficking. The Contras were a rebel group in Nicaragua that received support from the United States government during the 1980s. The crack distribution was largely managed by Colombian cartels. These Colombian traffickers were responsible for delivering large shipments of cocaine to gangs in the city of Watts, landing in the hands of the East Coast Crip gang. A member named Big J was one of the key players distributing rock, and right under him was Solo. He taught Solo everything he knew, and by the time he reached 17 years old, he was making over $5,000 a month. At this point in his life, he had become a hood trophy to the East Coast Crips. But this level of respect came with consequences. Not only did it put him in danger, but his family as well. One day, while he was outside hanging out and doing some yard work, a black Mustang pulled up. He thought this was likely another customer coming to buy, but by the time he got to the car, they rolled down the window, exposing a .45 Colt revolver. Bullets started flying, his mother was screaming in the back, and Solo hit the ground. Luckily, he was not harmed and lived through this attack. This put a lot of pressure on him, but instead of running away from the life he chose, he decided to embrace it. Unfortunately, one night he would eventually get caught lacking when he decided to make his rounds at midnight, stopping at a nearby local restaurant. He didn't know he was being followed by a carjacker, but while he was in the middle of placing his order, he felt a tap on his back. As he turned around, a gun was pointed at his bladder. The jacker demanded he give up the keys, but before Solo could reach for them, another man approached him from behind, escalating into a street fight. Solo was beating the dog shit out of the other robber. This scared off the main jacker, in which he would try to run off, jumping into the driver's seat, attempting to flee. This caused Solo to chase after him, as the two wrestled over the keys. A few shots were fired, sending Solo to the ground. The jacker got out of the car and stood over Solo, letting off a few more shots before jumping back into the car and peeling off. That morning, Solo woke up in the local hospital, surrounded by his family and friends, unable to speak, haunted by the thoughts that ran through his mind the night prior. I can't die like this. I'm only 18. By the time he returned home, everything was missing. He was back to square one. No drugs, weapons, or money. But once again, Solo was lucky because his big homie, Big J, gave him the cheat code to leveling up and being more involved in serious missions. This directly led Solo to the plug. Now, more determined than ever, he wasn't going to let anyone stop him from reaching his goal to make millions. People knew that Solo wasn't playing. He had his neighborhood on lockdown. During this time, he was working with major players like Rick Ross, the man who really brought rock to the streets and inspired industry rappers like William Roberts to copy his name and story. Solo was really on top of the world, and if they couldn't get to him, then they would take the next best thing. They would kidnap his baby mother. They demanded he pay thousands of dollars to get her back. But before Solo knew it, a higher presence got involved, and the kidnappers got dealt with. More danger followed Solo. He knew it wasn't safe for his family, so he decided to move his mom and baby mother to the good side of town. While Solo's brother was locked up, a rival Crip member told him that they planned to get Solo. They said they would sit in the bushes, waiting to strike, but they could never catch him. People wanted Solo dead, and frankly, it seemed as if he wanted to die himself. Over the span of his criminal career, he had become addicted to painkillers, likely to numb the harsh lifestyle and reality he faced. During the 1980s, many drug dealers turned to rap music as a way to wash their dirty money and avoid detection by police. Everyone wanted to be a rapper. Gangster rap emerged as a lucrative industry, providing a path to multi-million-dollar success. Solo saw this as an opportunity to get out of the streets, joining forces with Craig Miller, better known as Cam, who he met through the rapper Ice Cube. Cam gained recognition alongside Solo under the name Cam and Solo, ending up in the studio with notable figures like Ice Cube and DJ Pooh. Solo's first encounter with DJ Pooh was anything but smooth. Solo was a cocky street dude who tried to intimidate those around him. During a recording session, he made several slick remarks toward DJ Pooh. DJ Pooh was not known for his toughness, but rather for his lanky frame and musical ear, was pushed to his limit. When Solo's taunts crossed the line, DJ Pooh took Solo outside. There he let Solo know that he respected him, but he wasn't going to mess up the vibes, telling him that if he wanted issues, he could have them, that he was from the Watergate Crips. Solo was not scared, but he respected Pooh for standing up to him. This oddly made the two closer than ever, developing into a very close friendship. In 1993, Cam signed under Ice Cube's Lynch Mob Records. This was a major placement for the artist. And during 1994, Cam and Solo starred in a gang documentary titled Dead Homies. Right around the corner, the movie Friday was being written and produced by DJ Pooh and Ice Cube. Ice Cube was working with the hottest rappers in the city, helping artists like Cam release and get featured on major projects, which is how his song ended up in the movie Boys in the Hood. But while production for Friday was taking place behind the scenes, conflict began to bubble with several rap groups over various situations. Cam started to get upset with Ice Cube, feeling as if he wasn't doing enough for his career. On top of that, his current position within the Nation of Islam had him and Ice Cube not seeing eye to eye due to political beliefs. Ice Cube also caught fire from Cypress Hill over a song. The story goes that Ice Cube reached out to Cypress Hill to use their song Roll It Up, Light It Up, Smoke It Up, but later stumbled across another song of theirs that was more fitting for the movie. He asked if he could use it and got denied, later releasing his song, which was basically a replica of the song he heard. All he did was change a few words and hit record. Solo had befriended Cypress Hill and was already good friends with Cam, to the point he would attack anyone who disrespected him. So basically, Ice Cube pushed the line by messing with Cam. Solo decided to get back into his active ways and would head out to find Ice Cube. Eventually, he caught him at a stoplight, and that's when he decided to get out of the car and approach him. Ice Cube, not being a punk, got out of the car, and the two decided to settle it like men. This ended badly for Ice Cube because Solo ended up knocking him out and taking his chain, which later went on tour with Cypress Hill. Many people don't know this, but DJ Pooh was even in the beef with Ice Cube. This was over some money issues, which led to him producing the diss song aimed at Ice Cube. DJ Crazy Tunes would even jump into the mix, producing Ice Cube's freestyle diss song, aimed at the rapper Cam, and even some Crip gangs. Right in the lyrics, everybody killer, cross them out, and put a K is what I say. This freestyle almost turned into a bloodbath for many. But while attending a show in Chicago, the two were directed to meet up and squash the beef by the Nation of Islam. The aftermath of all this had Solo on the fence, feeling ashamed for his actions and later rekindling their relationship. The same would follow for those involved.
It was a misunderstanding on my behalf, and now that it's over with and long over with, I understand that I did it the wrong way. Like you gotta remember, man, that's my boy. I'm talking about NWA days. That's my guy sitting on the front porch. He playing with my son because we were a certain rap group and they were West Side Connection, and it turned into some other shit. Yeah, man, he stood 10 toes down with me, man. I salute him for it. That you can't do nothing but respect a person for that. I let that music shit come in between and hearsay.
DJ Pooh and Solo began working together outside of rap music and playing more with movie roles. Solo landed gigs playing roles that fit his personality. It was like he was acting, but not really, because all he had to do was show up and be himself. Like in the 2001 movie, The Wash, where he played a small-time criminal and delivered some iconic lines while filming.
Wait, hold on.
50 Cent, fool.
Hey, we want 50 Cent, fool. Wait, hold on. 50 Cent? Is that what all this is about? 2 punk-ass motherfucking quarters?
Man, 50,000, dog. Use your fucking brain.
DJ Pooh was breaking him off some serious cash for minor roles. In 2004, DJ Pooh began to write stories for Rockstar Games for their next project, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. The game was framed to fit around the 1992 conflicts that caused Los Angeles to go rampant. Rockstar Games was having a hard time finding actors who could execute their roles as gang members. So DJ Pooh took it upon himself to hire the local gang members he knew to play as actors. This is how Solo's cousin Young Melee ended up picking up his role. DJ Pooh had met Melee through DJ Crazy Tunes. Rockstar Games loved his performance so much, they hired him on the spot as the main character. But what some don't know is that Rockstar still needed randoms to fill the spots for the NPCs that walked around the game. They wanted to give the game a free life feel. So DJ Pooh took it upon himself once again to hire those he knew, giving Solo the role of the fat Grove Street gangster with the green bandana. In 2012, DJ Pooh joined Rockstar Games again, this time as a radio host for West Coast Classics and a creative consultant. He began working on the story for Grand Theft Auto V, a game centered around Franklin Clinton. Franklin is a young man from Los Santos, deeply entrenched in the city's gang culture. He's involved with the Chamberlain gangster families, also known as the Hills or Killer Hills. These gang members are often seen around the Crystal Heights projects, known for their distinct attire. They wear black, white, or green track jackets with Feud or Corkers logos and matching caps. Their style and demeanor are similar to the Forum Drive families, another gang Franklin is initially associated with in the game, setting the stage for much of the gang-related conflict. However, Rockstar originally faced the challenge in finding the best actor to portray Franklin. After several unsuccessful attempts to find a suitable candidate, DJ Pooh decided to reach out to his friend Solo. Despite multiple missed calls, DJ Pooh finally connected with Solo and invited him to come to Hollywood for the audition. Solo showed up on his motorcycle and gave an impressive performance that won over Rockstar. They already knew Solo from past work, even though his cousin had a falling out with Rockstar. Solo blew them away with his audition, earning him a major role in the game as the main character, alongside two other Grand Theft Auto titans, Ned Luke and Steve Ogg. In the early 2000s, Rockstar did things differently. You would just go to the studio, record some lines and hours of work, then send it off to be placed in the game. But since they had scaled their business, they were pushing the boundaries of video game logic and introducing new technology. Now you had to actually act the role you were given while wearing a suit that tracked your motion. This is where things got rocky for Solo. He was giving it his best, but the hours of work felt draining. Another actor on the set named Slink lifted him up and gave him the energy to pull through. This was something he needed because Slink looked like him and came from the same kind of background as Solo. Slink, or better known as Gerald Johnson, was born in the state of Arkansas, but later moved to Los Angeles and aligned himself with the Rolling 60 Crip gang, falling in love with everything Crip. Like in the video games, these two ran off each other's energy and eventually became really close friends. By 2013, they would go viral over a clip in the game, commenting on the character's haircut.
What's up? Can a low come up in your crib?
Man, fuck you. I'll see you at work.
Oh, nigga, don't hate me because I'm beautiful, nigga. Maybe you got rid of that old yee-yee ass haircut you got, you get some bitches on your dick. Oh, better yet, maybe Tanisha will call your dog ass if she ever stop fucking with that brain surgeon or lawyer she fucking with, nigga.
But to be frank with you, you know, cause Solo ain't gonna say it, but we was the only niggas on the crew, on the cast. I mean, it was a couple, it was more, don't get me wrong, but like day in, day out, it was just us. And we don't want to make no racist shit. But again, you know how you go to a job and don't know you the only person in your motherfucking race in that motherfucker, and you see somebody else like, oh, y'all on the same. So you know, again, I say that to say we brought a definitely different vibe. Our days on set together were definitely
different vibe. Because Tony wasn't all the way black.
As Solo worked endless hours, his relationship grew not only with Slink Johnson, but also with the other cast members. Ned Luke would even start to cry saying, "You got it, kid," after Solo performed a scene flawlessly. It's not without a doubt that GTA 5 changed the game for Rockstar and their actors, with many of the actors going on to profit from outside events surrounding their GTA persona.
This is history right here. What? This is history right here.
Rockstar treated Solo good, and the contract he had under them made him a millionaire overnight, releasing a book titled Game Changer, which is an amazing story with an even more detailed experience into his life. Rockstar made a deal with Solo that if he ever released anything about his time with GTA, they would help promote it. And to everyone's surprise, they actually did. When his book dropped, Rockstar helped support it online and build up his name. So Solo might be the smartest one at Rockstar Games, using his relationships and resources to build generational wealth and build a brand around his life. Solo now appears on several famous YouTube channels and sometimes attends conventions with Young Melee, all while supporting his family in whatever they want to do.
My life is a book. It's a story. And if you're willing to read it, you're gonna enjoy it. So if I changed it, then it wouldn't be an interesting story. Even though I've been through some tough stuff in my life, I take that as the lesson, man, because we always look at, you know, what do God got us here for? And that's what everybody always say, you know, I'm still here for a reason, man. I don't know what God got me here for. Well, guess what? Don't want to change nothing because God knows your direction. He's always driving all of us. You know, we his video game. So whether it's pain, suffering a little bit, we lose some people and stuff, man, it's in his will. It's not our will, you know? So I'm just here. I'm here, a video game, not just Franklin, I'm Shawn, and I'm his character. So whatever direction he's taking, he got the remote to me. So I'm good. How can I complain? Like I said, you know.
Don't forget, y'all, go on to his YouTube, subscribe, man. Don't just go look and go subscribe to it, man.